Hey everyone, this is Dean, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do what I like to call a creative session, and I'm going to let you inside of a project and show you how I produced a really sweet urban beat. So why would we be doing this style video? Well, I think it is really important to not just have tutorials about songwriting or to talk about songwriting, but to actually get in there and just show you the stuff. And I think honestly, sometimes what you need more than tutorials is actually inspiration. And hopefully at the end of this, you're actually inspired to go make music yourself, to stop watching and to start doing. So let's jump in. All right, so we're inside of the project here, and I want to show you this initial line that kind of started this whole process. But what I want to do first is pull up the keyboard so you can actually see any notes I'm playing, just in case you're interested. These are things that I played on my MIDI keyboard to write and record them here in this session. So here is the opening line that started the whole idea. Simple. Oh. So it's got that kind of interesting note there at the end. But I knew I wanted a bass to go along with it, and the thing about this instrument here is you can only play one note at a time. I can't actually play two at a time. And so I created just a duplicate track and created a bass line to go along with this. And just in case you're wondering what instrument am I using, this is a stock GarageBand instrument. You can go under synthesizer, bass. It's called the Hard Tech Bass. And it's got a really cool sound. So what I did was created a bass line, which sounds like this. So it just has a really cool, that's a really cool combination, and those two things together really create just the hook and the whole, the foundation behind this whole idea. And so what I wanted to do was go ahead and add some layers into this. So even though this is great, sometimes I like to just layer in some more basses or some more lead lines just so they cut a little more, so they're a little more prominent, have a little bit more color and flavor. So first I added a layer of the deep sub bass, and literally all I did was take this performance, copy it, and paste it into a different bass track. And you can see right here, that's again under synthesizer, bass, deep sub bass if you're a GarageBand or Logic user. And so that adds just a little something on the low end. Just a little. And really what that does is make the bass a little more round and warm, and it helps it cut through the mix a little bit better. And then I wanted something that was like, I don't know how to describe it, like, ooh, like that had this certain sound to it. And so I found this basement bass and just simply added the same thing, the same layer to the bottom of that as well. And it sounds like this. Like it almost has a kick drum in it, if that makes sense. And so you can see I have these two basses kind of pulled back a little bit. I don't want them to take over the mix. They're just kind of sitting back a little bit to add that roundness and that warmness and that prominence to the bass line itself. And then from there, I wanted to beef up and add some character to that lead melody. So I just, again, copied and pasted that lead line and added it into the African kalimba. Now, this is actually a Logic instrument. So if you're a Logic user, you'll have this under world and under African and under African kalimba, which is a super cool sound. So it's a cool sound, but if you're a GarageBand user, you can actually get all of Logic's instruments in GarageBand for $30. That was the last video I did, so you can go check that out. So all I did was take that lead line, and again, I pasted it into the African kalimba. So now it just adds a little bit of character, and let's listen to it. Yeah. I just think that adds so much, especially if you're going for like an urban, organic kind of feel. So after that, it was all about rhythm and percussion and getting the drums right. And so I wanted to keep it organic, so I went with the African kit, of course. And I added this beat here just to start. So it's kind of quirky, but kind of cool at the same time. And then I kind of did the same thing as I did up here. I just duplicated that because I was trying to play a new line. I could have added it into here, but I wanted to separate it. And I added this new line to kind of build out and round out the rhythm. And this is where it starts getting really sweet. So I loved where the beat was going, but it needed something more constant, something to add more energy. And so I actually was searching through some of the stock GarageBand electronic drum kits. I landed on this gritty funk, which I liked a lot. Just has some sounds that I really like. I think it's really organic. And so I added this line to help add some energy. Yeah. And so I feel like once I got to that point, I was super stoked and like, yes, this is starting to sound so good. But I feel like it was missing just one little thing. And that was when it gets to this part, I could hear a clock tick right there. I was like, I have to get a clock in here. So what I did was I went into loops, I searched for clock, I just typed it in and found this clock windup. So I dragged it in and whittled it down until I had this little chunk that I wanted. But I knew that it wasn't going to be the right timing. The clock is faster than the BPM of this song. And so what I had to do was actually go in and turn on the flex time and start moving these clock hits to where they would fit in line with my beat. So let's see. Bop. Bop. So with a lot of fiddling, I finally got it to work. It sounds like this. Yes, and I was like, that's exactly what I was going for, exactly what I was going for. So if I put all of these together, I'm gonna play it from the start, and this is the beat. Yeah, so there you have it. I had so much fun making this beat. I'm building it into a full song, and I just really want to inspire you to go make music. Take what you've got, get creative, come up with some ideas. I worked a really long time on this. This didn't happen instantly, so it's probably not going to happen instantly for you either, but have some fun. Actually use your skills, use your tools. Don't just watch tutorials about it, but today or tonight or this weekend, go out and make some music. I'll catch you in the next video. And all of these guys have written an original song. They put the lyrics to it. They put the main melody to it. I was just able to get behind them and help produce the album for